Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're here and you want to improve your career development skills or communication skills as an engineer, you're at the right spot. Subscribe on the channel so that you don't miss any future videos. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to effectively disagree with someone. If you haven't already watched my previous video on how to disagree with someone, I encourage you to watch it now. The link to my previous video is pasted in the description below. Let's say you have already followed the 2 steps I mentioned in my previous video on how to effectively disagree with someone. You have already asked questions to understand the other person's viewpoint better. You've also expressed yourself clearly so you can bridge the communication gap. But in spite of that, you notice that the other person is obviously wrong. How do you communicate that? Because many of us, let's face it, have challenges in being assertive, even though we notice that someone is obviously wrong. So we tend to compromise, we tend to say nothing, or when we say it, we tend to accuse someone else and it would not go very well. In this video, I'm going to explain in detail how to disagree with someone if the other person is obviously wrong. You find out that the other person is obviously wrong. What helps you make a decision if you're feeling conflicted between saying something or just tolerating the other person's mistake is knowing your values. Values are the life principles that we live by. As an example, for me right now at this moment, the 3 main values that are core and important to me are freedom, connection, and service. Which means I want to be able to experience freedom to be able to do anything I want to do. Connection, I want to be able to feel the deep connection and the deep relationship with others around me. Number 3 is service. I want to be able to use my services to help other people. If at any point of time any of these 3 values get compromised, I'm going to speak up, say something about it, do something about it. When you're having a conflict with someone, this value system is what helps you decide whether it is important enough to say something and be assertive or suck it up and tolerate someone's mistake. When I was working as an engineer, I would ask my manager, Mr. Manager, how do I get this cool project that our team has received? Can I work on that project? He would say no and give me a very vague reason. Similarly, I would ask him again, Manager, what are the steps in order to get promoted to the next level in my career? Again, a very vague answer. I would try asking him after a few days to see if he gives me a different answer that I can actually take some actions on. But every time I ask him, he would feel annoyed and would not give me a very straight answer. At that time, I felt conflicted, whether I have to confront him or just suck it up and do what he asked me to do. At that time, I was on my work visa and my priorities were very different. My values were financial independence, joy, and service to others. But freedom was not my top value. I'm okay to suck it up because of creating financial independence, especially in the beginning years of my career. So I didn't mind just doing what he asked me to do and decided to avoid confronting him. Note that all the battles are not worth fighting for. Someone once wisely said, choose your battles. During the later years in my career, as I became more financially independent, my values changed from financial independence to creating freedom in my life. So when it came time for me to make another request to my manager, I said, Manager, I would love to take this new project on that our team received. I think I'm very capable of handling this project. And my manager said something that I still didn't understand. So I said, Manager, I'm unable to clearly understand the different reasons, but irrespective of the reason, in order for me to justify my current role and give my very best, I think I have to find something that I'm very passionate about, that I'm willing to work. So if you won't be able to put me on this project, I completely understand. But I will have to find another role for me which is more in line with my own passion. And please know that this has nothing to do with you or this company. I still love working for you and this company. It's just that I have to find a project that is more in line with me. So please let me know in the next 7 days if you can consider me in this project. If not, it's totally fine. But just know that I will be on the lookout for a new project. So let's just dissect what just happened. Number one, I decided to honor my own values of freedom. So when it happened that I don't have the freedom to choose the project I want to work on, I decided I don't want to work for that manager or for that company, and it has nothing to do with the manager of the company. It's to do with my personal values. Number two, in the heat of the moment, when my manager refused to put me on a project that I wanted to work on, my instinct was to accuse my manager that he is being insecure, that he is biased, and that's why he's doing this to me. Instead, I held back and gave him the benefit of the doubt that there might be reasons behind his decision that I might not understand. Step number two is really to give the other person the benefit of the doubt that there are many reasons beyond your comprehension. And we don't know what that is, but the other person is doing the best he can based on what they are feeling, thinking, experiencing in that moment. Step number three is to communicate that the decision you're making is in your own best interest and has nothing to do with the other person. Because many times when you say things that are bold, the other person might take things personally and become defensive. They might think that I'm making this decision because my manager is bad or something. So I am clearly communicating that, manager, the decision I'm making right now to move to a different company or a group has nothing to do with you. It has just based on my personal interest and my personal value. So step number three is to communicate that whatever the tough decision you're making has nothing to do with the other person, but is based on protecting your own personal interest first. Guess what? After this conversation was over, my manager not only admired my boldness in confronting him directly, but also reconsidered his decision to include me back on this project that I was looking for. Never happened in the past 7 years when I was not being assertive. Once I started being assertive, things changed. That's the power of being assertive. In summary, in today's video, we discussed 3 steps on how to effectively disagree with someone, especially in scenarios where the other person is obviously wrong. If you want to learn more about what your values are or have more questions, please leave your comment below or send me a message by connecting with me on LinkedIn.